What do you mean, sir?
When you look on a map, there's two main highways to Blitar from Jogja. There's number 15 and number 3.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
yeah. We don't see that.
Surprise. Okay. All right. Back.
Okay, then. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so welcome to the early week of June. And then let's discuss on our HR setup today. We're going to start on video. Okay, so you guys can see the screen, right, for the keyboard. Okay, so for PD, the update for investigate GKL usage friction in marketing chapters, is that meetings that are done with Scrum period, no Google Calendar exactly. Meetings done outside of Scrum period for chapters, already using Google Calendar. Marketing chapter has few meetings in that actively creates event as those described in point number 2. Marketing chapter split their meeting slot to 4 categories, 1 to 3 being in Scrum and 4 of Scrum. If meetings of type 2 are constructed and discussed in Scrum, pollinator will remind you to use GKL. So exactly this is why I asked favor from PD to investigate this, because I've been noticing the behavior on how marketing chapter is not optimizing using Google Calendar. I have difficulties of actually, see, Kiky also agree. I have difficulties on scheduling my times with whoever in the chapters except Aldo. So that's why I suggest PD to take a look at closer to that. So that's the yes, sir.
And Mrs. Chair, how does this friction manifest? Is it because you send a Google Calendar and you realize that they're already in a meeting, or how do you?
So it happened already more than once. So once I was scheduling a time with one of the team members in content, and then they accepted already. They said yes, they approved, but they didn't come. And then turned out that they forgot on actually. And then how can you forgot? And so then it means that you didn't check your Google Calendar daily, right? So that's the one case. Another case is that I booked calendar, but they didn't approve. They didn't do anything. They didn't object my invitation. Didn't cancel my my invitation also. So that means that I don't know. They left me hanging.
Got it. Okay.
Well, the longer vision of using Google Calendar is that list of direct communication, right? So like I don't have to ping each person to scheduling a time. You just have to check the calendar and accept or cancel, right?
Okay.
So in that sense, yeah, they're not really optimizing. So
got it. How do you optimize it in your schedule? You check your you check your Gmail every day, right? For calendar invite.
For me, like my people have different habits about Google Calendar, but for me, to be more specific, I am now Google Calendar is the first thing I opened on in the morning and the last thing even before I sleep. So like before I sleep, I checked, okay, do I have appointment early in the morning tomorrow or
like this morning?
Yeah, like this morning, for example. So I already checked like last night. Okay, what are the earliest meetings? So that's how I optimize. I don't force people to follow my habits, but at least you have to aware on your own schedule.
Okay, understood. That's actually pretty good. Okay, cool.
Okay. Cool. So let's go to Kiky's tag actually. Kiky, would you please give us update about national UR? I think you're muted. Hello?
Hi, Kiky.
You're still muted. Okay. Just don't mute then. Because you're quiet, so that's fine.
Nah. Your mic on.
Aduh, macet. Astaga, pakai macet gue.
Okay, so I'll recite on Kiky's side. My meeting with Bu Ratna and UNER Career Center postponed 2 days ago. Rearranged the meeting today at 2 p.m. via WhatsApp call. Okay, so key result on the meeting is that internship publication in UNER, which is good, which channel they usually use, the audiences and possible webinar also season with Bukit Vista. So I think this one is good, as in we understand the result that going to have a phone call with Bu Ratna on UNER to have internships publication and possibility on have webinar. Another update is that Informatics Study of ITS replied our message. They will publish our internships program. Good. It's another university actually, sir, that we've never touched before. ITS is new, so yeah, we're going
Technical
to
University, right?
Teknologi Surabaya.
Okay, that's like the next one after ETB, right?
What do you mean?
In terms of like technology ranking, right? Like there's
Yeah, most likely, yeah, but it's still top 10. Instead of
okay,
Teknologi 10 November, it's in Surabaya.
okay,
Okay, so yeah, I think Kiki is aiming for informatics study for
very
that
good.
part.
Right.
Okay, we'll send it this afternoon, and then for the next card, it's about UR Global. This one been collaborating with me about sending the last action that I know is that sending the company registration docs to SMU,
Mhm.
but so far they don't get back yet. For us, it takes few days, I guess, for them to get back.
Oh wait,
And
be careful about this one. Last time we talked to SMU, we would agree to give the job descriptions, and that's been sent over yet already, or not yet.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay. We better do that quick because
I
Desmond.
think already, sir, because I reminded Kiki to send it. Can after the scrum
Okay.
we have the board meetings, right? And then I said just send it now because we already settled the discussion about job desk.
Okay.
Hopefully Kiki already sent it, but I'm not sure. She didn't write anything in here.
Okay.
And then for NTU, I think this is already discussed, yeah, for this.
Okay.
So there is no update so far for UR Global. And then for startup incubator, let's see if there's any update. Yes. So we had a meeting with the vice director of Orange and Unpad today at 10. And the result of the meeting is during this pandemic, they have no tenants, but they have candidates of tenants. They will post our, which is good. They will post our internships opportunity.
Nice.
I think so. I mean, like recently, this is what I noticed since no company is opening up for internships program so
Yep.
far because it's working from home. So our opportunity is actually very valuable for
It
university
is. It
and we
is.
offer remote working.
Hmm?
And it is good that we detect remote working internships sooner than the other company. Maybe the other
We
company is
did.
tracking how exactly we're going to have internships but remote.
It's
So
really
yeah.
good. It's really good. We're quick to pivot, and I think we might be able to get an unfair advantage on, let's say, getting the better share of talent because we are able to do that. Yep. So good setup.
Yeah. Okay, and then so for webinar, Kiki already make terms of references consist of public discussion. I think it's already deal that we're going to be having a webinar. Even they already discuss about terms of reference and discussion theme and time, etc. And then the next plan is that currently creating the term of reference. We'll send them the detailed materials and poster of our internships program, job scope, and everything they send us. Okay, MOU just for the formalities. Hello, Kiki, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yeah. I think that you already read my card. Is there any
yes, I have
follow-up
a question
questions?
though for the SMU. Have you sent the job description to SMU?
Oh no. So basically, to SMU, right? So
Yes.
basically, to SMU, we need to like sign up first. Just like what I told you before, that we need to send the what is that
Yeah.
company's document registration,
Mm-hmm.
and also there is a certain website, I think, of some kind of form. I already filled the form, and all we need to do is waiting for what is that waiting for them to reply our message so we can actually sign up. We have a certain account, and then we can post the all the entire job details, job scope, etc. in their career website, because they didn't. So SMU didn't don't have like a career. What is that? They have certain rules in internship posting, something like that.
Okay.
So
Okay. So for the job desk can only be submitted after the form of registration is
yeah,
accepted, that, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you. And then about this one, Kiky, how is it? How does it goes for the meeting earlier you had with Unpad?
Oh yeah, with Unpad. So basically, we discussed some things. They asked about what is Bukit Vista, and I learned from Jing. I direct them to our website, and then I tell them our core business course, our core business, and also I kind of show them a little bit of our Trello, but in general, not all of them. And then
Okay.
so they can figure it out, so they have a general idea what how Bukit Vista works during work from home
Mhm.
or remote working, so they know, oh, this is how we work, we have
Okay.
schedule, we have etc. Just explain that thing. And also
About
we
webinar?
about webinar. So we are currently working on term of reference, Tor or Tor. So term of reference is basically just like what I attach in webinar with Unpad. It's most likely like that. If you open my paper that I attach in apa my card or webinar with Unpad is most likely like that. So it contains what the speaker need to answer. It contains what the discussion do the speakers
Okay.
need to discuss in the webinar, something like that.
Okay. Kiki, so is it
And
that means that we're going to have the webinar already?
yeah, we are going to have a webinar already. In fact, that they say all we need is to arrange the schedule. Like
Okay.
they also have schedule. They also have like probably 3 webinars for this month, but they will add our webinar. So it means that they
Okay.
have probably four
Okay.
webinars for this month. It include us. So yeah, it's already settled actually.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mm.
Question back to Ara. Um, what about Desmond from NTU, Kiki? Have we sent the job descriptions over to them?
Yeah, yeah, I already sent. I think
Okay.
I updated in my paper like yesterday.
It still says to do. It doesn't say done yet, so I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, my bad then. So sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Thank you. Thank
Also,
you.
Kiki, I checked on you, ping me and Jing on the card about feel free to join if you have some free time. So I would suggest if
Yeah.
you really want us to come, just invite us on Google Calendar because we're prefer to sit schedule
Uh,
on Google Calendar. Also, yesterday I saw that you were scheduling a time with me and Jing, but we both are
yeah.
off. So
It's it's actually my bad. It's not that. It's yeah. You know. It's bad. It's
yeah.
wrong
Also,
entry. Yeah.
please, if it's like a wrong entry, then please delete it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that yeah,
Yeah.
because I was off, but I'm still checking like is anyone scheduling a time with me? And I was like, oh wait, I was off.
It's a wrong entry. I don't know why. Like I'm in my way to Blitar, and then I have a Google Calendar in my device, and also I don't know why it's there. Like suddenly, oh my god, what did I do?
Okay.
It's just it's yeah, it's
Okay.
wrong entry. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank
we
you.
covered all of your cards, yeah.
Yeah.
We already covered all of your cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's go to Jing now.
Yes.
I did some reusing templates on Trello cards.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let me move to my card. So, ah, oh, geez, I'm stuck in a rut. Okay, so my idea is to use these pivot cards, but I forgot to create the awareness today in HAR and also marketing. The meetings are sort of stacked right now, but I'll do it tomorrow. So I'll remember to raise awareness on this, and I'll do it by putting a discussion note on each chapter's discussion board. On the next one, seeking professional guidance and mentorship. So far, Nadine is checking back up. Oh, thank you, Nadine. And extend the deadline or the pivot. Okay, yes, I'll extend the pivot. Nobody's gotten back to us yet on the list of people from HR at Airbnb. So we will extend and try this out a little bit for maybe another week. Okay, I'm going to move the due date back to the 15th for now. So I will tell Nadine, yes, we will extend to another week. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next card. This is employee satisfaction survey. From getting the one-on-ones from Ara today and having a discussion about that, I've noticed that this is since we've had the one-on-ones, it's not terribly urgent in time. So I'm going to put it as important, but I'll schedule it. And I'm really okay. I have a blocking situation right now. I need to get the input from other HR teams, what they do to do employee satisfaction surveys before I feel comfortable launching this out. So that depends on the previous card, H1.0. All right. I know it's overdue already, but I'm probably going to ask for another time extension on this for another week to work on this as well. So I'm going to put this on a due date of the 15th. So extending the timeline that back. Okay, this one's working really well. Culture HRF 2.1. This is culture of giving feedback. And this is peer-to-peer feedback. Right now, this is actually just getting. This is a pivot. Sorry, this is a pivot from my previous card, which was giving feedback from peer to leader. So now I want us to give feedback from peer to peer. What will this look like? So after a meeting, I think people can give not feedback up to the chair anymore, but feedback to another person in the meeting. So that way, the clarity of what a person is doing can be improved too as well. So this is a new initiative, and I think I'll start with HR. So after we finish this meeting today, I'd like us to give a moment to, of course, do the discussion, but after that, to talk about somebody's work. So I think the chair can say, all right, Jing, evaluate Kiky, or Kiky, evaluate Ara. That way there's some peer-to-peer feedback culture too as well. Okay, this is part of the overall program to create more self-leadership and more autonomy so that if we do give each other feedback, I think then it's easier for leadership principles to prosper. That's it. That's my update. Back to the chair.
Okay, so going to my card stacks, I've been noticing some traffic from LinkedIn again.
Yep.
So as in per the last 2 days, we got 10 new entries.
Wow.
And all are from 8 from LinkedIn and 2 from web and social media. And then, but 0 ITB graduates, I think from ITB itself, it's slowing down right now. And the newest update is that Faris is dropping out from the applications. So yeah, he's not going to be onboarded for the
Oh,
program.
I know, right?
why?
Yeah, personal issue. So yeah,
Ah,
things like that.
my God.
And then for second boarding trial program, I've been okay. Sorry, I haven't been updating this one. I'll update after this. But for this one, I already set up all the things as usual, like creating the email and everything. And also, I've done rolled out the assessment. So I noticed that some of them are already trying to do it. But so far, the new part from the this onboarding trial program is still those 2 things: having a daily journal that already is set and a video index. So this is actually open for both Jing and Kiky. If you have any suggestion on what to add up on the new onboarding trial program, please just write it in here.
Okay.
That's that. And then for happy hour, I have not had any new concept for this week yet. But the last happy hour was pretty, what is it?
Raunchy. I heard it was really raunchy.
What's Rochi, sir?
Like dirty. Like everybody wanted to do Ara or something. Ara was
Oh my god!
Ara was the object of a lot of frustration, sexual frustration or something.
Oh my god! But yeah, I decided not to have this type of one-on-one again. I think
You started it, I think, right?
my intention was like getting to know each other, right?
Right.
Like yeah, person like among team member. But I think it went wrong in the sense that their questions have started to be so personal and yeah, and people are so open. Surprisingly, people are so open in that sense. So like, okay, I should have had limitations on the questions.
Did you hear what happened, Kiki?
I didn't know.
Kiki
I
is
fell
left.
asleep.
Yeah, fell asleep. So you
fell
didn't
asleep.
attend. Good that you didn't attend, Kiki. I'm so thankful you didn't attend.
Why?
I asked my wife about it later, and I was like, "Oh my god, everybody said that? That's pretty pretty raunchy. Yeah.
You didn't attend to, right, sir?
I was doing payroll. You would not have
Yeah.
been paid on time, man.
But you heard about what happened from Wayan
I did. I did. I was like,
Oh my god, I didn't expect people that open. Okay. So
how do you feel about it? Do you feel better or worse?
why should I feel better?
I don't know. Maybe it's like you know.
What
I
question?
don't know, there's-
What question they asked to you, Ara? I mean, I'm curious.
yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Okay, I think we already covered my part so far, so let's go to the next discussion. Do we have any further discussion about the P2P, sir?
A P2P.
Yes.
Oh,
you-
okay. Let's start that now if you want. So, all right. I'll lead it for the first time, and then I'll get this
Okay.
going on. All right. Let's go between. Let's pick a few. Ara, do you have any feedback for me on my cards?
On your cards, as in
Yes.
your initiatives, yeah. Hmm, not feedback. I would appreciate that you involved Nadine for one of your initiatives. So it's like not just like doing it yourself.
Okay.
That's something that I might take away too. That maybe in the future I would love to involve anyone else on my initiative. Because so far I've been doing it myself. Maybe involving Kiky.
Okay.
So that's more on appreciation, not a feedback. So yeah.
Okay. Good. Do you have anything harsher to say about that?
Hmm, apa ya? Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Let's go to Kiki. Do you have any peer feedback for me on my cards?
For me personally, I think I cannot really catch up with your updates. I mean, you create this for example in culture of giving feedback to P2P, like you checklist, you already check the, let's say, chapter awareness and chapter action, but I didn't know what kind of awareness that rise, or like the specific description of that.
Oh, okay. You're getting awareness right now, actually. So
Oh,
if you're if okay, so what is culture? I think culture. The best way. Oh, wait, actually, let's ask Ara. Ara, what is culture? What is the best way to describe culture?
Culture is our life. How do you live your life every single day? Your habits, and then your the values that you hold on every single day. So that is culture, I think.
Okay, very good. How do you start new culture then, Ara?
Starting a new culture is at first, of course, we need to be clear about the vision and mission.
Uh-huh.
Like where are we going and everything, because that's going to be reflected on our daily basis, day-to-day activities, right?
Okay.
And then once that you already hold on to one beliefs about what vision and mission, you applied it into your daily basis activities. That is culture. What that created habits and anything, activities and things like that.
Excellent. Okay. So this is how I break down culture in terms of actionables, Kiki. So if I want to start a culture, the first thing is I need people to be aware of what is the new culture I'm trying to start and why am I trying to do it. So we're doing peer-to-peer feedback as part of leadership development. One of the feedback I got as a leader is that currently I'm too involved in all the chapters. So the dilemma I have at the same time is I need to stay involved for as long as the chapter cannot guide itself yet, right? Because if I get myself too involved in it, then I see the opposite effect, which is things feel wishy-washy, right? And not clear, and there's uncertainty. And I know where that comes from. Part of it is because people need to develop good skills on how to give feedback. And through giving feedback, we develop better skills on our vision and what to aim for. If you can give feedback, that means you understand what the end outcome should look like. If you're unclear about how to give feedback, that means you're still not clear what that is. So I think this practice of doing peer-to-peer feedback will strengthen the independence and the leadership, and also a reminder of what a vision and a mission is, so that so the chapter will be more conscious of it. So the first step is to have chapter awareness, and this is what we're doing. And the second step is to take chapter action. And chapter action is what we're doing right now. We're actually doing it, right? So then that is that's how we know culture is actually moving. Now, after a while, it should just be chapter habit, maybe the third level, which is where this happens even when I'm not around. Then that would indicate that it's become part of the culture of what the chapter does. And I'll add that actually. So I'll put it as my next checklist, which is called chapter habit. And this is I hope this is a powerful platform for you guys to build systematic uh, culture changes in the company. That if you realize it's actually three steps, it's chapter awareness, chapter action, chapter habit. Then that gives you a playbook to create new cultures, right? So let's say, for example, Ara. Ara is working on this happy hour thing. But for it to be, let's say, company culture, somebody else could also think about how to do it too, right, Ara? And then once everybody thinks about how to do it, Ara doesn't have to think about doing it anymore. Everybody will think about how it should be done. And everybody will know that on Fridays we do this thing. And it will just happen, whether or not Ara is there or not. Yes, back to Ara.
Actually, sir, also I want to ask, are you going to put happy hour as part of the culture?
Yeah, totally part of culture, I think. Yeah, totally part
Okay.
of culture. No?
So if you do, I think it's. I had an idea to ask you, because like if it's me, I don't have problems. Sometimes I do have problems to like generating ideas, but that's okay. I can figure it out. But I think the awareness of people of that new culture needs to be more distributed well.
I agree.
In the that if I am the one that always administer the happy hour, I think people are not aware of the culture.
Yeah.
So in that sense, from part of there, I would maybe delegate like each week. It's gonna be different. Like this week gonna be Aldo's happy hour. Next week gonna be Kiky ideas, and then next week gonna be
There you
Gany's
go.
idea.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That's a great idea. I think that's it. All right. That is how. Like, think of this. What is culture? If during Lebaran your parents set up the party, the event for Lebaran, right? Then
Mhm.
that is not culture. But if you set up for your children or for your friends, then it's part of culture now. So that's the idea of culture. Even if the original person isn't there setting it up, you would still do it because that is what you do, right? That's kind of like your habit. So okay, good. That's a good pivot, actually. Ara. I think that's a good idea. You can maybe add that to your cart.
Also, I think because like I'm sorry, sir, this is like I've noticed some people are barely join happy hour.
I
So
know.
in that, yeah, right. So in that sense, maybe they're not aware that it's a part of culture. So maybe I'll just appointed those person to administer happy hour.
Yeah, there you go. Give the people who are yeah, give them the chance to lead, and then it becomes their issue, right? Okay, that's cute. That's a good idea. Back to okay, so that's on my side. I'll give some feedback about myself actually. So I think right now I have a blocking problem. So I have one card blocking another, and this could result in project management delays because I'm waiting for H1.0 to finish before HRI.2. So ideally, if I was leading myself, I would tell myself to probably think of a non-blocking way. So I should probably think of a way to build an ESS without having to wait for professional guidance first. Like, can I go online and find some material? Can I spend some time just thinking about it? That would be my advice for myself. I know it's kind of weird, right? It's like you have to zoom out and imagine you're managing yourself. But ideally, I should not have, or I should not have, as an executor, right, as an executor, I should not have too many stops or too many blocks, meaning one thing is blocking my progress to another thing. Ideally, I should execute in parallel. So that's my advice for myself that I just saw. That okay. Let's go to Kiki. Do you have any advice for Ara?
For Ara, let me check. Oh, um, I wonder about hiring a good ITB intern from UR Relations. Does it what is that? In it's consider it will be considering done when we already onboard ITB intern, right? I mean, Have we all actually?
We have.
So you're asking if the card is finished yet?
I mean, not Faris. Like I see that there are three candidates, right? Three interns on trial, and one of them, or probably two of them, from ITB.
Yes.
So when they are like once we're onboarding, is it actually considered done?
For the time being, for this J1.0, I would. So I could set up the schedule. It's supposed to be the 1st of June, right? But
Hi.
I project that Faris is gonna be successful. But then if not, so I would what is it? Change the due date because
Okay.
we have those candidates, right? So
Mm.
so far, yeah, we're waiting for a real candidate to be like really onboarded on the team.
Yeah.
So like
After
after
trial.
trial, so that's that.
Yeah, I see, I see. Yeah, that's it. Because I kind of confused. Like having a good ITB, like we have plenty candidates, isn't it, from
Yeah.
ITB? But oh yeah, yeah, that's for my side actually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mm.
This is actually over to Kiki. Let me give you feedback about your feedback. So, Kiki, in this particular case, and also Ara, in this particular case, Kiki should know what Faris said, right, about why he didn't join, because this is part of a system. If the first part of the system doesn't understand what the next part of the system is doing or why it's not going through, then the first part of the system won't get better at detecting, let's say, uh, this anomaly. Now, okay, so what do I mean by that? If we know why Faris didn't pass, then Kiki can maybe look for certain features or attributes to prevent people like that from even applying, right? So that way we don't spend so much time. In this particular case, I believe Faris's case was actually pretty unique and very unusual too, as well. But I think good communication in a chapter should allow failures to flow back up to the people in the front so that they know what's happening. Now remember, this is really a trust of transparency. This is really a test of transparency and failing fast. If we do believe in transparency, then we believe that what we're doing is done earnestly and honestly, and we should not be blamed for it, right? I've done a good job and I've tried to do the best. Here's what it is. And if we do believe in failing fast, then we need to understand the failure is a system. So not as a person, but as a system. Was there something else that somebody could have done to stop Faris from even getting selected in the first place? In Faris's case, I don't think so. I think it was really really tough, but I think Kiki should also know in this particular case, right? Okay, Kiki, that's up to you actually to pull information out. So you'll need to get more information. You should feel information hungry when this kind of thing happens. Like why did that happen? Right? Uh,
Yeah.
did I waste like 2 weeks of my time with people that I shouldn't have talked to? So that I think is valuable feedback, and you're going to need to get that out from Ara somehow. Okay, so that is. That's just drilling more into it. And Ara, I think, should feel happy to give it to you. I mean, it's don't ever feel bad. Remember, when candidates drop out, remember back up to controls, right? We don't control that. I mean, we're not buying people. This isn't slavery, right? Like people choose when they want to come, they choose when they want to go.
Yeah.
So we have to have the correct expectations there. What we can control, I think, is we can control: did we select the right person? Did we give them the right messaging and the right nurturing? Did our timing was the timing good? That and did we reach through the right channel? That's
Yeah.
kind of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And if they decide not to join, then okay, what do we miss, right?
So because in this case, sir, I even trying to chase in the terms that at first he said that family issue, right? So I was like, okay, if it's a family issue and it's about the months, we're very flexible about the time, and we're the one that decided for 6 months. I mean, what exactly family issues? Because about the situation, you know exactly what we're going to do before even the interview. I already briefed you. So then that's how he said the other reason.
And in this case, I think what you've actually done is you have a new best practice, by the way. You've discovered a new best practice to get actual feedback rather than cover up feedback, right? And I think you can disseminate how you actually got that. I don't think this was a failure. I think this was actually a success. Failure is if you fail and you don't even know why, right? You're like, what was going on? But the real breakthrough here, and it is a breakthrough, was that Ara was able to get Faris to talk about why, and it was related to something that was highly personal. But it's important to understand these things too from the point of HR. I mean, we might think it's weird, but they didn't, obviously, and this affects our messaging as well. If we message in a way that, let's say, resonates, even if somebody has that belief, then we probably would have more success in the future, right? So this is really good. What you found out through your feedback tactic was something that is actionable to what we can control, which I believe is messaging, right? In this particular case. So there is some good to have come out of that. And Kiky, I think it's up to you to create that discussion because your work is affected by what it's kind of like you're trusting the person behind you to fulfill the order, and then it drops while it's under their under their management, right? So you need to go and you need to understand why that happened. Okay, so I think that part is important to get that feedback from your peers. Okay, is that all the combinations? Me about Kiky. Okay, so all right. My feedback to Kiky is, let's see, or actually, our feedback to Kiky.
Sorry, I think I already delivered all my feedback on
Okay.
one.
Okay. My feedback, Kiky, is, let's say, maybe just double test your communication equipment beforehand, yeah, so that you have a. I know. Actually, you can communicate really well written. Every time I read your posts or your comments, it's super clear. It's getting clearer now, actually, and especially your essays, super clear. But just the technical parts, right? Now your equipment seems to be working. So maybe if you just test it out with somebody, like, hey, yo, Jing, can I test out my thing with you before the meeting? Or with Ara, that could be a way to just make sure that. And trust me, if you're working in HR, that will work in your favor. That could be your biggest takeaway. If you ever go to a meeting and your equipment sucks, you probably won't get the job, right? So that is that could be a good takeaway even after Bukit Vista. So main point with there, and also timing on the updates. If you've done something, just go ahead and put that it's done, because that's a pretty crucial step with NTU. Yeah, and that way everybody will know that's okay. Okay, that's my feedback for Kiky. Okay, that's it. Back to the chair. Oh, what does everyone think about this? Is this a good idea?
How often are you going to have this?
Until everyone gets better at discovery and optimization. So
I mean, daily, sir.
as often as the meetings are happening. So in HR,
I
once everything, but certain other chapters, I think maybe need it more frequently, depending upon their. HR is pretty good right now. I think we're pretty aligned, and we're actually making really good progress. We were a little bit behind everyone, but now we're kind of ahead of everyone. So that part. You okay, Kiky? You're not crying, all right?
Yeah, I have this. No reason. No, it's I'm stumbling into this, and then it's a bit sick in my feet. Just that.
all right. Rubik's cube. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, but I think because what I notice sometimes is that like we talked about today on the one-on-ones, people are going, yeah, that's okay, that's fine, it looks good, keep on going. So not enough, I think, constructive feedback is happening to stop people from doing that. And I realize it's hard. It's hard because it's socially awkward, right? It's socially awkward to tell people that they're doing something wrong. So I think we need to create a culture where that is okay, and ultimately, if the vision succeeds, are then you don't need a leader so much, because it's like people know it, right? People know this is wrong and this needs to be taken care of, and I can totally see that you're not heading that way. So if we can get that culture, then we could have, like, let's say, a leader to sort of, make people feel happy. But we don't necessarily need a leader for understanding the vision and where to go. It will just be more sort of around as a pivot from democratic decision making. First part of democracy, you need an educated populace. So, okay, back to our.
So is there any further discussion rather than the P2P?
Oh, no discussion. Just want to inform Jing that uh, our webinar with ITB. So we actually address a webinar with ITB on 15 June actually, but I think we will postpone it again because they has what is it, pergantian dekanat. Apa ya Arab bahasa Inggrisnya pergantian dekanat?
The change of the chairman of the studies, head studies.
Yes, yeah. So they are currently busy on that particular event, and we will reschedule for probably to what is it, tanggal 21 June probably, but we will make sure again, reassure again. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just the information.
Okay. Also,
Yeah.
maybe a part of. Okay, is there any other discussion, Kiki?
No, just that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe just ini. I'd like to a little bit share. Maybe you guys can share opinion about my pivot. So about one-on-one itself, I'm not going to directly to choose to one person because I think it will be shocking and like too much for one person. So what do you guys think about pairing people? So it's also like about bonding. For example, for this week, I will appointed Aldo to work with VD, for example, to create happy hour. So I got two outcome from that. First, departure, and then the other one is to bonding for people that barely have communication between one another.
that's super smart, actually. Yeah, that's really good. That's really
Okay.
good. That's really good. Yeah, that's two birds with one stone. Yeah, you get a one on one, and then you get a
Yeah.
yeah, you get
Right. We can also see like how they do the project management, like the communication skill, and then like is it running smooth or well, and yeah, so like more intense communication between one another too.
That's really good. That's really good. That's a pretty good
Okay.
idea. That's
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll have to maybe put apa pairing people manually because I really want to make it very careful on who to pair. I don't want like for example Rizal to pair with Dani because they met very intensively. So might maybe people from different course chapters.
okay. All right.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I think we're running up. We still have 8 minutes actually. Is there any other discussion? No.
No.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, let's change for the next chairperson. Next chair will be Jing, and then the next secretary will be Kiky, and then for the next recorder will be me.
Actually, Mrs. Chair, I'd like to remove my spot from chairing in the future, and I will just record in secretary because I want to give you guys more opportunities to chair. Okay. So
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll remove myself from chairing, and the next chair will just jump over to Kiki. Okay.
Okay. Okay, then
Ah.
you will be the next chair. Okay, I think we covered everything. Maybe last we already talked about feedback. Maybe specifically about the chair today. Maybe feedback over to Kiki first. Do you have any feedback for me as a chair today?
No certain feedback so far. No.
Okay, okay, maybe to
I
Jing.
think you are doing good.
Yeah, I think all good. There was. I think we've mastered this. In fact, already. Yeah, I didn't see detailed, very detailed on going through the cards. Curious about what's happening on each pivot. Um, seeking maybe the only thing would be seeking to understand deeper about what the intended outcome will be, um, in a very very driving way, so that there's no wiggle room for uncertainty. Good brainstorming, good discussion. I think we've mastered the basics already. So I think sharing culture is pretty fluent now in this chapter. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. So I see you on the next on Thursday on Wednesday for the next sync up.
Yeah. Oh, you did forget
Yeah.
reviewing the secretary notes.
Oh yeah, right. Yes.
But I'll be honest too. I didn't do a very good job secretarying because I was talking. So
Okay, so shall we review? No.
okay, so I got this. Kiky is doing says sent the job descriptions over to NTU, and the webinar for UNR is delayed until 21st of June. I put the reason also, Mrs. Chair, why Faris dropped out, and I put also that you're pairing people to continue the culture, and also maybe too much revealing at the last happy hour, and also the development of the new 3 interns on the second onboarding trial, and the ITB intern for university relationships is coming to a close. Okay, for my updates, actually my updates I think I already talked about. So I'm delayed on the professional networking. I'm also delayed on the employee satisfaction survey, but I'm moving ahead on culture of feedback of giving peer-to-peer. I've started today here in this chapter in HR. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Okay then.
Correction. Jing. The webinar that is postponed is not with UNER. It's with ITB.
Oh, okay, with ITB. Okay, all right, got it. And when is the webinar with the other schools?
Not
So,
yet.
uh, do you think I need to create like a certain card that webinar updates? Because because this one I expect we have 3 webinars with Unpad
Yes.
Student Organization, with UNER and ITB. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to. Do
Yeah,
we need to
yeah.
certain
Yeah. Yes, please, Kiki. Yes, that would make it
Okay.
far easier. Because you got to remember the information flow on that card is like a river. So every day there's new stuff coming through, and what you want to do is you want ice. You want to lock it into one place so that we don't have to keep on looking back at the river to see what place and time to talk about what. So yes, ideally a new card for webinars. That would make
Yeah,
it so cleaner.
webinar updates. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay
That's
then.
fantastic. Good communicate. Good systematic thinking. Okay.
Okay. Okay then. I think we covered everything by today. Thank you for coming up online and on time today. I'll see you on the next HR Sikap.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Have a nice day, everyone.